Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jake, and today we are going to be cutting up some firewood back here in the wood yard. I got some really nice firewood poles of mostly maple, so we're going to be using the converted MS290 Farm Boss to cut these up and get them ready to split on the RuggedMade splitter. So as you can see here, I have a bunch of firewood poles all lined up in front of my little bucking station. If you guys watched a couple videos back, you saw me kind of introduce this. I got a lot of great feedback on different ways I could go about this, as far as the logs that I'm using as the bucking station and how to orient my logs on the bucking station to make it more efficient. So I'm gonna try a couple of those techniques that were suggested and see how they work. But all in all, I'm just excited to cut some firewood. All right, guys, so this log on top was already marked from when I initially cut it down. This one is not, so I'm just gonna run down it with the Mingo marker real quick. Okay, and just like that, it's marked up. Now, the first suggestion that I got from viewers in the initial video that I did cutting on this table is that I should try and line up my dots. That way I can just cut through both logs simultaneously. And that seems like a pretty good idea to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And in theory, yeah, even though I marked this log probably about a year ago when we initially cleared the whole wood yard, the marks line up pretty perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. All right, well, initial impressions, that worked pretty well. This back log that's kind of sitting down in the gully kind of held this smaller log that's up on top kind of in place. And, you know, it was definitely faster than going down and cutting one log and then going back to cut the second. So, I like that. The, you know, as long as the marks are pretty close, you can kind of, you know, split the difference between the two and go in the middle if they are a little offset. At the end of the day, this isn't rocket science. Just got to get it close enough to 16. So, now that I have my bucking station open, a couple people suggested that I should go ahead and cut this longer log down to the same length as this shorter log, so as to not have, you know, like overlap, and that way I can just cut, you know, whatever's hanging off will just fall off. And I think that's a pretty good idea. I don't think it, you know, this log being longer really affects anything or gives us all that much of an advantage in any way. So I like that idea. I'm gonna take and follow some of the viewer advice, and I'm gonna shorten this longer log, essentially. I'll make 2 cuts, 1 on each side, to make it roughly the same length as this log right here. All right, guys, so we got the logs cut up to be about pretty dang close to be the right length here. What that length is, I don't really know, but I don't really think it matters. They're long enough to support my firewood poles. That way there's some hanging off, you know, on each side. If I were to do 8-footers, I mean, I think these are probably, I don't know. Those might be like 6-7 feet. But anyway, regardless, they're cut. Of course, I hit the ground or the asphalt millings when cutting through them. So, you know, I'm human, I'm not perfect. I make plenty of mistakes every day. So although these logs are essentially to help me not hit the ground, in me trying to help myself not hit the ground, I hit the ground. So I have to go sharpen the saw, which it can use a little touch up anyway. And then I'll be right back to keep cutting up. All right, guys, we just got the saw all sharpened up. This fan is really helping out here. It's a hot day out. Just thought I'd show you a quick little glimpse of my little workshop here. Of course, got the beer fridge over there. Got my my scooter, which I don't know if I've ever showed that off, but that's a video for another day. TV, dartboard, more saws, ATV, another scooter, and then, you know, some tools over here. So anyway, thought I'd show you that quick. Saw's sharp, let's get cutting. All right, guys, we are back in the wood yard with a sharp saw. I have, yet again, put down 2 logs. This one is marked. This one, I don't think is marked. It might be marked on the bottom side, but not on the top. So I'm just going to go by the marks on this first log and just, you know, cut my way through it. We'll see if having the 2, you know, bucking logs, the platforms being the same length helps any. I think it will, you know, for these overhang ones. That way the tip of the bar isn't plunging into this far log. But yeah, let's cut some wood. All right, well, we got those cut up, no problem. Not much of a noticeable difference in having the 2 logs being the same length, but you know, it definitely didn't make it any harder. I really think that the suggestion that I got of lining up the logs to just cut, you know, mark 1, but you could still cut 2 at a time, was a good one. I had tried that in that initial video, but I don't think I actually said that I did that, or it might have been during a time lapse or something. But I mean, essentially you're cutting double the wood but only marking it 1 time. So the biggest benefit to this is that, especially for these smaller logs, is that I'm not bending over. You know, you're up in the air, which is really nice. And it's definitely at a comfortable cutting height, you know, a little bit higher than my knee level. So this is all maple for the most part. And we're starting to get a good pile here. And I'm excited to split it. So all these little chunks, I'm throwing, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, probably not. But I have an IBC tote over here, so I'm throwing all the little offcut cookies into there because I don't really need them. My buddy has a wood boiler, as I mentioned a couple videos back. So once that tote's pretty full, I'll throw it in the back of the truck, bring it on over to him, and he can burn it in his boiler, and I don't have to deal with it. So it's a win-win. I'm gonna load some more logs up onto the cutting table. All right, got them lined up. Cut away. All right, I'm gonna try my hand at cutting 3 at a time. We'll see. Well, that seemed to work pretty well. This system, I don't know, it's, you know, probably not the fastest, but for one guy out here cutting all these little firewood poles, I'm pretty happy. I went into work this morning, not for the tree department that I normally work for, but for the municipality parks department to help them get ready for all the 4th of July barbecues and everything. By the way, today is Saturday, the 4th of July weekend. I'd like to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. Hope you guys get out there, have good weather, barbecue, and maybe even cut some firewood, be with friends and family. So anyway, I went into work this morning to help out the parks department in one of the large parks for the town that I work for, and I thought I was going to be mowing on like a 0-turn mower. Turns out they gave me a weed whacker. So slightly different version of mowing, but I was weed whacking for about 7.5 hours. So that was a little unexpected, but you know what? I'll do whatever I can to help pitch in, and plus I got some good overtime. So I'm just kind of taking it easy this afternoon. Sun is behind the trees. This is when I'm grateful for the amount of shade I have back here in the wood yard, and hopefully we'll get through these firewood poles, and then we'll have a nice bunch of cut up rounds to send through the splitter, probably in the next video. Hopefully I will have some help from Sarah on that one. So hope you guys are enjoying the video. I'm gonna get back to cutting. Well guys, that is everything, or at least all the logs that I had here. I still have a couple more logs back at the beginning of the road, but here's the pile of rounds so far. Doing pretty good. This is all nice small diameter stuff, so it pushes through that 4-way wedge really quick. One thing I do want to do to this 4-way wedge is cut some material off the bottom so that the wings sit a little bit lower. Because when splitting this smaller stuff, some of these guys just, you know, go right underneath the wings, and you split it in half, but it's still kind of too big. So I'd like to take some material off the bottom, maybe like 2 inches or so. That way I can get these wings to sit a little bit lower. But that's a project for another day. So that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. I was doing this, again, taking the feedback that you guys, the viewers, have been putting in the comment section. I read every comment that gets posted on every video. I try to respond to you know, all of them. Sometimes it takes me a couple days, but I do eventually, you know, try and get back to you guys, and I really appreciate all the feedback. Lately, we have been getting a ton of new subscribers. The analytics have been showing all my videos and views and stuff have been up, which is great. So all the new subscribers that have been subscribing and watching the videos, drop a comment in the comment section below. Even if you don't have any, you know, creative or constructive criticism to add to the video, just say hi. Let me know where you're from, what you're into, why you're watching the video, stuff like that. Find that everybody, you know, watching these videos usually likes this kind of stuff and does this kind of stuff on their own. So I'd love to hear from you guys. So drop a comment in the comment section below. If you're watching the video and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. Give me a big thumbs up. Again, happy 4th of July to all of you and your families. I hope you have a happy and a safe 4th of July. You know what? That's pretty much going to wrap up the video. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. We'll see you here next time.